Hi, my name is Gina Lorubbio, and I am coming at you from my apartment in Copenhagen, Denmark, where I'm an American living here. I've lived in Denmark for 3 years now, a little over 3 years. I'm from the US, I'm from Ohio, and I lived in Portland for 6 years where I met my Danish husband, and now I'm here with also a half Danish, half American kid. And I am an artist and a writer, and my business is called Heirloom Food Project. And through that, I write and create art all about building a food culture that we're proud to pass down. So preserving tradition, inspiring people to look at their roots and continue to pass the things that are worth holding on to forward. So one of my first projects in Denmark was to create a book and a poster, and this is called the Kage alphabet, Kage ABC. Let's see, en kage til hver bogstav. So a cake for every letter, and these are all traditional, in some form or another. A lot of them are traditional Danish baked goods, and so it's an alphabet full of them. And I did it in collaboration with a cookbook author here. Her name's Katrina Klinken. So she was the author and the recipe writer, and I did all of the illustrations. You can see we go through, Katrina and Gina. And we go through all the letters. This is the one that we're here for today. We're gonna be looking at the recipe, and perhaps you'll choose to bake along for the letter Y. The name of this, and I'll go through it later with a real Dane's pronunciation, it's called Ymerhorn. And Ymer has two meanings, actually. And the reason why we chose it is because the first meaning is it was the first being in Norse mythology. So it was the being that birthed all of the giants from his arms and legs and feet, I think. So he was the father of the giants, and his name was Ymer. And then for our purposes, Ymer is a yogurt product. You can see the name here. Ymer, øko means økologisk, which means organic, ecological. And it's kind of like a yogurt. It's a sour milk product. And I'll show this to you in case you want to bake the recipe and you're looking for a good substitute. But it's just like yogurt, you can see. This is the consistency. It's kind of thick. So that would be what you're looking for if you want to bake along. So I would suggest a plain yogurt. During my time in Portland, we bought and ate a lot of Nancy's yogurt. So I know that Nancy's has plain yogurt, probably around the same consistency. The recipe also says, Katrina writes that you could use buttermilk. Well, it's called milk here. And I think it might be a little bit thicker than the buttermilk that we get in the States, but you could also give it a try with buttermilk that you would find in the store and see how it works for you. You might just note that perhaps the dough might feel a little bit wetter, and you might want to add a little bit more flour just to make up for any extra water content from the substitution that you make. So that is the recipe, is Ymerhorn. It's like a croissant-shaped horn. Here's the poster. You can also see. We'll do a close-up. This is it, and it's got almonds and pearled sugar on the top. And now I think we'll cut to a series of Instagram stories that I did when I was baking my way through a lot of these recipes. So in them, I will show you some of the more, some explanations and tips for some of the more involved steps, even though it's a pretty basic recipe, and I did it on the first try, had pretty good results. And I'm not like a professional. I draw and write about food, but I'm not a professional. So without further ado, I believe we will cut to the stories. I'm back baking again. Today I'm making something, and I'm gonna hold up with telling you the name of it because I need some pronunciation help. But while I was doing this first step, I wanted to show you something that helped me when I was making one of those doughs where you need to have cold butter and cut it in and get it into small pieces that look like grated cheese. So let me show you what I'm doing. First of all, while I'm here, I want to sing the praises of baking with a scale. I feel like this is not something I did in the US, and it's something I've done here in Denmark, and it just makes baking so much easier. You'll get one bowl dirty instead of all the different measuring cups. Oops. Yeah, so a little shout out for that. But I wanted to say that when I was making the pecan pie from Grandbaby Cakes, she showed me a method where you use a fork like this to smash up your butter. And do you see how you get those like nice thin pieces of butter? I feel like that's what makes those nice flakes eventually in the dough. Whereas I would usually sit here and spend all day with two knives, like cutting across like this. But then the pieces are just kind of uneven. Whereas the fork, I feel like it's making these really nice like little ribbons of butter. Here I am with pronunciation help for the letter Y, which I'm baking right now, which is named after this product. Do you want to say what this is?
Det er Ymer.
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 Yeah.
Anything that starts with a vowel or an R, I suck at in Danish. But this is like a sour dairy product, so yogurt. By the way, yogurt comes like this in Denmark and not in tubs, which is, I just think, the wrong way for yogurt to come. Okay, thank you for the pronunciation help. So Ymerhorn is the letter Y. Thanks.
Yeah.
All right, I hope you learned a little something there, and if you are inspired to bake along, I've sent a translated recipe to the camp organizers, so hopefully that's with you in some shape or form, so you can try it if you'd like. And if you want to keep baking along or look into some of the other recipes and the other types of bakes that are common here in Denmark, you can visit my website, which is www.heirloomfoodproject.com. Heirloom as in like a family heirloom that gets passed down through the generations. HEIRLOOM, foodproject.com. And I have under my shop, I have a tab for the Kage ABC, and you can go and get a close-up look at all the different cakes that are part of that there. I will also ship them to the US if you're interested. The poster has all the names of the cakes under each one. The book, if you feel like really challenging yourself, is in Danish. So, but the recipes are written for children. So it's a kid's level, maybe around age 10 would be a good age for Danish kids here. So I can follow them, and I'm a newer Danish learner. There's also I'm pretty sure Google Translate has an app where you can hover your camera over the text, and it will just translate what you see through your camera into English. So if you're interested in this, I also sell these on my website. And I do believe that a lucky person from camp will be getting a poster or a book. So those are part of your prizes. So look out for that if you would like that. And you could otherwise follow me. I might keep baking some of these recipes and sharing them on Instagram. I also do a lot of other projects related to food and talk about my time here and how to live in Denmark and and all that. I talk about that a lot on Instagram. At Heirloom Food Project is my handle there. And if you visit my website, you can get a sense there, read some of the stories. If you go to the food stories and scroll down, you'll see I did a 100-day project where I did 100 days of Danish food when I first moved here. So if you'd like to see what's going on in Denmark in terms of food culture, what people are eating in their homes, what it's like to be out and about here, you can check those out. I also have a newsletter for updates and upcoming projects. I've got a project in the works, maybe with a grant funding, about global influence on Nordic food culture. And I think that is it. You're also welcome through my website or wherever you find me, Instagram, send me a message if you have some specific questions. I'd love to connect and keep my roots and relationship going from the US to Denmark. Just like you're doing the opposite way. So good luck if you choose to do the recipe, and let me know how it goes if you do, and have a good camp. Bye.